Being a 20 something year old is hard because it's a time where people are accomplishing things. So you see your friends getting new jobs, you see your friends getting married, having children, you see your friends also living with their parents or whatever. And you're constantly comparing yourself to others. Am I on a good path? Am I far enough on this path? Everything just feels like the world is collapsing on me and I have to accomplish something. I have to do something. I need something to show for myself that I'm worth it in some way. And when you're in your 20s, you're trying out so many things. You're trying so many paths, like different jobs, different, I don't know, degrees, different certificates, different people, different relationships. You're constantly changing. And this is tiring as well. But at the same time, even though you're like super busy all the time and you're doing something all the time, you feel like you haven't actually accomplished anything. You feel like you're never doing enough because this person just ran a marathon and this person just got a promotion at work and this person just had a baby. And why am I not doing all of those things right now just to keep up with everyone else? I constantly feel like I'm behind, but I also constantly feel like I'm so busy that I don't have time for more accomplishments, but at the same time, I'm not accomplishing anything. It's crazy. And whenever I daydream, whenever I make plans for the future, when I think of accomplishing anything, it kind of only feels meaningful if I do it in my 20s. And it doesn't make any sense because life is so long and there are people who accomplish things when they are 30, 40, whatever. But why do I feel like it will only matter if I do it before I turn 30? I don't know. I think it's maybe our culture that puts a lot of pressure on being young and accomplished, right? For example, when I think of this actor who just won an Emmy for Adolescence, I don't really remember his name. I think it's Owen something. He was praised so much for the fact that he was the youngest male winner of an Emmy. And I just feel this pressure all the time that we see all those young people accomplishing things because when you do something when you're like 40 or 50, it's like not that impressive anymore. And why wouldn't that be impressive just because you're older? Like all of our lives are different. Everyone has a different path. Everyone, different things happen to all of us. Basically, why would I feel behind just because I don't accomplish something in my 20s? And being at this state, being, 20 something is inspiring and tiring at the same time, because on one hand I love the fact that I have all this freedom to try so many things, so many paths, to experiment, but at the same time I just sometimes wish I would just settle on one thing and just go with it. But I also don't want to settle for anything. I want to find this one true thing, my one true calling for my life. So it's so confusing. It's such a confusing time. And I also feel like so many things are out of my reach. Like I'm trying to get somewhere and it's taking so long to get there. And I know it's more about the journey than the destination. Like I get it. Maybe one day I will look back on my life, on my 20s, and I'll be like, oh my God, it was so cute. It was so cool to make videos for 0 views. And, now I'm doing this and that. In my head, in the future, I'm this like super accomplished content creator. So maybe one day I'll look at this video and I'll be like, oh my God, I was so cute. I didn't know how to talk to the camera, but I was so cute. And now I'm here. I'm at the destination and I'm like, I don't know, popular or rich or whatever. And oh my God, the journey was so fun. Like I get it. Maybe one day I will look back at this and be like, yes, this was fun. And it is fun. On one hand, it is fun. But on the other hand, I just really want to get somewhere. And I don't know how to get this feeling that I got somewhere, I did something, I not even accomplished something, but just like finished. Ever since I've been done with school, I just don't feel like I finish anything. Like I make a video, I post it, and I still don't feel like it's finished. Like I always, look at it, I watch it back and I'm like, oh, this could have been better. I could have done this differently. And like, sure, that's part of growing to be, critical of yourself. But it also leaves me with this like feeling of never just finishing anything actually. But I did have some revelations while I was thinking about this crazy time of being a 20-year-old. I don't actually have to accomplish anything in my 20s. I can accomplish things in my 30s, in my 40s, in my 50s. I mean, I don't know why I'm in such a hurry to do it right now. I can just take it step by step, and I don't need to prove to people anything, even though it's so easy to like compare yourself to others because, we have social media and everyone posts everything, and it's great to stay connected, obviously, but maybe I also don't want to see this all the time. So I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I'm really trying to focus on reaching my goals for myself and not for other people. And I think this really helps with this feeling of I'm behind everyone else. And I've also realized life doesn't really have a timeline, right? Like some people started school earlier. Some people started school later in life. I mean, later in life, I don't know, there's probably like a year or two difference. Some people took a gap year, some people didn't took a gap year, and now they finished university quicker than those who did take a gap year. Life has no timeline. It's just about, everything is very personal and very individual. And at the end of the day, there is also no finish line. Because what's the finish line? Death, dying, being, gone from this world. And, some of us will probably die at 60, others at 70, others at 90 or 100. So who's to say who reached the finish line first? Like, it's not a race. It's just a lot of pressure to not be behind, because for so many years in school we were compared to each other all the time, right? We had those marks, we had those tests, and you were comparing yourself to others, whether you were an A student or a C student or a I don't care student. You did kind of compare yourself to others, and you had this notion of whether or not you're behind people. Like if you had bad grades, you could feel behind others, your peers. If you had good grades, you could feel ahead in some way. And now that we are like done with school, done with university, we're all just adults and we are working, there's no like measurable way to compare ourselves, which is good because I hate, comparing myself to people. I don't want to be jealous of people. I don't want to wish I was somebody else, or wish that I was in somebody else's shoes or whatever. I want to be happy with my life, and I am happy with my life, but the comparison is so overwhelming. And what I've also realized is that since I'm young, I can risk things. I can make irresponsible decisions, and probably nothing bad will happen because nobody's relying on me, I don't know, financially. I don't have like a family really. I'm just married, but he's not like relying on me for anything. So I can just try things and risk things because I'll probably never have as much freedom again as I have right now. Like I wish that in the future I would have more freedom, because the only way in which I could have more freedom than right now is if I just had more money. Like I honestly genuinely feel like the only thing limiting me right now is just the amount of money I have. Like I could be doing so much more and I could be going places and all this and all that if I just could afford it. But I can't. So I don't know, maybe when I'm like 30 and I have a lot of money, I'll actually have more freedom. But I don't know. I'm trying to enjoy it, and I'm trying to not let the comparisons consume me.